Hey everybody, Katie Ortiz here with News Center Maine in the studio in Portland with a very special guest, Drake Bell.
Hey.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You have a show tonight in Portland. Many of you know him as Drake from Drake and Josh, of course, on Nickelodeon. However, you are a musician in your own right.
Yeah.
You got a brand new sound.
Yeah, I've been just putting some new records out, and yeah, I mean, when I was on Drake and Josh, it was really awesome because I was fortunate enough to be able to have the opportunity to play my own music on the show, and a lot of the, well, not a lot of, but all of the music that I played on the show, I wrote, and I wrote the theme song to the show.
Yep.
And so it was really cool. I never had anybody, handing me songs or saying, this is what you should sound like or anything. And so I was simultaneously putting out records while I was doing the show, and then afterwards, and it was nice because fans would come to the show, and it wouldn't be like I'm playing a character on TV doing this sound, and then they're coming to my concerts and hearing me, like, I play Billy on TV, but then they come see Drake,
Exactly.
in the shows, and they're different music. It's not, they're seeing the same character, so it's
very
yeah, it's me, so it was really cool. And then in 2014, I made a fun rockabilly record. I got to work with my biggest guitar idol, Brian Setzer. And that was just like for a fun little one-off, like 1950s record. And I toured that for a couple years. And then when I got back in the studio, I got back into writing songs again, and the music sort of transformed into this more, I don't know, it was more organic before, like more Beatles, Queen. And I still have those influences in the music, but I think it's a lot more modern and
definitely has
urban,
some like reggae vibes,
yeah,
a little bit islandy.
It's got so much. It's like and some Latin. Like I've got a song coming out at the end of the month that's in Spanish, and
Hey,
I spend a lot of time in Latin America. I have a big fan base down there, and I don't know. I think I just get inundated with all this music and culture and everything, and then I come back to the States and I get in the studio and people are like, what do you want to work on? And I'm like, it's got to be like boom, ka-ka, da, boom, ka-ka. And they're like, where have you been? So I mean, it's I guess a lot of the music is really just influenced by, because I've been traveling so much around the world and touring and everything. So I'm just kind of like been picking stuff up and all over.
It's like a melting pot.
Yeah, so it's really and my music's always been eclectic too. I'm getting older and I've had a lot of experiences, and I don't know. When you're at this age, I'm not like in a punk rock band that like wants to sound like a certain sound and do all this, same things over and over. I really like to evolve. I'm inspired by people like the Beatles and stuff who have it's like, what Beatles album do you like? Well, what mood are you in?
Right, they're all timeless.
Yeah.
Now, does this, kind of come with being independent? I mean, you're without a label, which is huge, and you've got this monster tour that you're on right now, really grueling, back to back.
Yeah, that's what's really cool. That is a luxury of not being signed, is being able to do whatever you want. Like I did a cover of Lil Pump's Gucci Gang, like an acoustic, just fun cover, and a label might say, oh, you can't, that's not your sound, that's not what we're doing, you're working on this album over here, you can't release that, and I can just do whatever I want. I can literally go on Twitter or Instagram and go live and be in the studio and be like, hey guys, what do you think of this song? Or hey, what do you think of this? And know what the fans want immediately, and have a direct connection with them, and then be able to just drop records whenever I want, not have to wait a year for it to come out, or wait for this, all the political stuff that goes along with having such a big conglomerate, like, having pulling the strings of your album and career and stuff. But yeah, it's nice to just be able to finish a song, and then, if I want to put it on an album, I put it on an album. Or if I go, hey, you know what, this is really awesome, I want people to hear this right now, I can literally just go drop it and not have any ramifications for it.
No, and I was going to ask, I'm glad you brought up like social media and stuff. Streaming is huge. I mean, you look at somebody like Chance the Rapper, same thing, SoundCloud, he was just truly organic. How has streaming changed the game for you, really, as an artist?
Well, I mean, streaming and social media completely, it's really put the power back in the artist's hands if they utilize it, and that's why a lot of labels, when they're picking up all these younger artists, they have to put them in these deals where they're taking touring and merchandising and all this stuff. I mean, they're literally, when they used to just be in the record making business and selling records, well, records aren't selling anymore, so they have to become this, they're taking everything from the artist, and it's really nice to be able to just kind of take it back and put it into our hands and be like, you know what, if we find these tools and we utilize them, you know, what really is it that if we can get our own distribution, if we can get we can build our own fan base. I mean, a kid here in Maine could be on YouTube playing his acoustic guitar and build up a fan base on his own, right. You know, and do it right there organically and not have to have some, you know, and that's when the vultures come in and go, oh, now we can make you into this, and then they take everything, and, you know, but if you just cultivate it yourself and work, and, you know, and you just work your tail off, then, yeah, you kind of get the power back, you know.
Yeah. For sure. I have to dive right into, because I grew up watching Drake and Josh, and I know that you addressed this previously over the summer, whole wedding situation. Yeah. So obviously your feelings were hurt. Yeah. And what did Josh say was the reason?
Oh, it's all love, man. I mean, you know, it's you know, planning a wedding is
madness.
Yeah, it's madness, you know. But I mean, we're like brothers, and we just love each other to death. And like I just saw him right before we came on tour. He came over to my house. He's having a baby, and wow. It's just it's such a trip, you know. Life is like, it's really rare to have someone in this industry that, especially in the business that we're in, you know, that
so few understand
that you kept a relationship with for, you know, 20 years or something, you know, and we're still best friends and we still love each other. And, you know, if the opportunity ever sprung up again where we could work together, I know that, you know, if everything scheduling wise and all that kind of stuff, like, we would love to get the band back together. And yeah, it's just really cool, because I mean, I've been in this business since I was, you know, a kid, and, you know, 26 some odd years, and, you know, very rarely do you have somebody that you just, like, he's like my brother, yeah, like real brother, you know. So it's a really cool thing.
Well, it's awesome to see from afar too. I mean, just your connection. My girl Miranda Cosgrove, do you talk to her still?
Yeah, totally. I mean, everybody from the show, it was a really special family that we created. You know, it wasn't one of those shows that when we finished, it was like, oh well, maybe we'll see each other down the road if we run into each other at a function or in, you know, some premiere or something. No, man, we were like so close, and we still, I keep in contact with all of the co-stars. You know, Yvette, who played Helen, and Jerry, who was Crazy Steve, and Jonathan, and Eric, and I mean, it's just like everybody. I mean,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
and I think that's what made this show so successful too. It was genuinely funny. You guys had such a good rapport with each other, and it was a hit for a reason.
I mean, it was it was real. I mean, that's what I'm saying is nothing was really forced ever on the show. You know, I mean, the relationships were real. Like, we all really cared about each other. We were all best friends. We all the executive producers and writers allowed us to be able to. You know, just improv and put our own spin on things and stuff. So yeah, it was just really great. And, you know, I mean, Miranda and I are both obsessed with Disneyland, so cool. You know, we find each other there a lot. And I just did a fun project with Jonathan, who plays the dad, Walter, and Yvette came along and did that. And then Josh did a video just recently with Yvette, and yeah, so I mean, we're all just still great friends.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I think that honestly, that goes without saying too, helps with the show here. Okay, so I have a whiteboard because we're gonna play some guess what this Maine lingo means, because we got some weird words up in here. So I'm gonna write it down and you have to guess what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you say it like that, it's probably like, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was an easy one.
Probably
okay.
Like, yep.
Yep, exactly. So basically, yes, but
Watch that mark.
It's huge. Oh, it's okay. They can afford it. Okay, next.
Bub?
Bub.
Bub. I don't know.
Guess. Kind of like, yeah.
Oh,
what's
is it like dude?
Yeah, exactly, like
it's
dude.
Hey, what's up, bub?
Like, yeah, like, oh, we got a big snowstorm, bub. That's a big one,
okay,
bub.
Yeah, all right. Yep. It's like man.
It's
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Hey man,
We
what's
got
up,
a big
buddy?
One, man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Very, very common. All right, this one, I literally had no idea until I moved here.
Dirigo?
Dirigo.
Dirigo.
It's Latin.
Oh, then I have no idea.
Okay, it means I lead, and it is the state motto.
Oh, okay.
Dirigo. So it's like everywhere. Okay, now we have the last one, but I might need your participation in it after. I really should have brought an eraser. This is my bad.
Moxie.
Moxie. What is Moxie?
Moxie's like, he's got Moxie. Like, it's like.
I'll tell you who's got Moxie right now. This girl's got Moxie for you
like
to
means
try.
Like, I don't know how to put that into words, but.
I truthfully don't know the definition of Moxie, but.
It's like spunk.
Okay.
It's like he's got Moxie.
He's got spunk. So this drink here, Moxie, big fan favorite in Maine.
You know, there's this really cool vintage soda shop that is down by my house, and I always see these there, but I've never actually tried it.
So in California, you see Moxie all the time?
Well, no, not all the time. And you got to go to like a specialty. Yeah, you have to go to a
Okay.
specialty soda shop for it.
Well, now you'll think of Maine. So it's like a ginger soda.
Oh, that's good. So it's like ginger ale, but like a soda ginger ale.
Right,
Like a
right.
cola, like a ginger cola.
Like a ginger cola.
Yeah.
So you kind of either love it or hate it.
I like ginger ale, and I like ginger, so that's delicious.
He's all in. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Drake, you got Moxie for
Thank
trying
you.
this out and for hanging with us.
All
Cheers.
right, thank you very much.